Hi everyone. I know I always say good evening, but wherever you are in the world, good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, and welcome to my Wednesday Live at 5. As you know, I love to chat to people. We've got some really great community champions that I've been talking to in this series. For those of you that don't already know, I'm Lynn. I'm Head of Customer Success at Supermums, and I absolutely love the opportunity to hear from these incredible people, to hear their stories, to hear about the community, to learn from their experiences and gain some practical insights. Alexandra's here today to talk about mainly Sales Cloud, which is where she sits in our community. And today we'll be exploring the business analyst, project ownership, and how great requirements can be. So I am truly delighted to introduce Alexandra. She is our community champion for today. She's built a career around understanding business needs, translating them into practical solutions, and helping organizations get the best possible value from their tech. With experience spanning across BA, product ownership, Lexi has found. I called you Lexi. I'm sorry. I hope
that's
you didn't mind that.
I never go by Alexandra, so it's Alex.
Oh, okay. I should have probably asked you that in the first place. Anyway, but one of the things I'm looking forward to exploring today is how strong communication, curiosity, and problem-solving skills can be as important as technical knowledge. And it's something that I always say, because it's all about finding out how to dive in and find your niche. But Alexandra, welcome. Let me just allow you some time to introduce yourself, please.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. Very excited to do this. About myself, as you mentioned, I've recently joined as a community champion, but before that, I used to be a mentor with Supermoms. So I'm not quite new to this. I'm based in Dublin. I've been working with Salesforce, I would say, since 2012, which is a
Wow,
very long time.
long time.
Yes, and I got my first role as a Salesforce admin into 2016, so 10 years ago. Before that, I had several roles in support, technical support, sales operations as well. And then it was all about Salesforce.
That sounds like my world. But let's just start at the beginning, I think. How did you first find your way into the Salesforce ecosystem? And what brought you here, and what brought you into a BA role?
Yeah, so that's it's quite an interesting journey, I would say. So I was sales operations analyst back 2012. And we used to have a very, very terrible CRM. I think it was Sibyl. It was hard to do anything in it. So luckily, a few months after I joined, they switched to Salesforce, which was like something else. It like the user experience was amazing. So this is how I got into I got very excited, very interested. I became a power user. So I was trying to get involved into everything, all the new releases. I was an admin back then, so I was just kind of like a subject matter expert for my team. And I was trying to get as much knowledge as possible. So yeah, a few years forward, let's say, I moved to New Zealand, and I was lucky to get a role at a startup as a Salesforce admin. So this is how I started my journey. For me, it was a bit tough though, because I was a solo admin, so I didn't have a team to rely on. So it was a lot of trial and error, a lot of learning, But yeah, I think in the end, I managed to gather quite a lot of experience and knowledge.
Yeah, great. And my cousin lives in New Zealand, and I keep threatening to go over and see him. So I
It's
definitely need to
beautiful.
do that. Yeah, I hear it is. I think as well, I think something to say on the back of what you've just said, whilst a solo admin is an uphill battle, it's got you to where you are today. So I think sometimes when you rely on other people a little bit, whilst everyone sits in their own lane or their own niche, it's nice to learn a bit of everything and then focus on something, isn't it? But when people hear the title of BA, business analyst, or product owner, they often have a different interpretation of what that role involves. How would you describe what you do to someone who is completely new to the profession?
Oh yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, those can be actually those can be separate roles.
Yeah,
They can be done together. It's really a matter of like how the company decides to adopt the whole business analyst role, and also the setup in the team. So I would say as a business systems analyst, it's a lot of talking to your users, understanding their problems, their pain points, trying to kind of like ask the right questions, understand what they want to achieve, like gather all the information, and then it's up to you to translate it as best as possible for the development team, so they can work it out into a solution. Again, it can be a mixed. So as a business systems analyst, I've also contributed myself to like building the solutions. I've also worked with technical teams, but I think it's kind of like it sits at the intersection of the business and the technical development, which is quite amazing because you kind of get to see both worlds. So you get to interact with the users, and then you also get to see like how the solution is getting created and in the end delivered and used. Um, the product owner role, I would say it's a slightly bit different. Sometimes there is an overlap between them, but imagine you work in a team and you get like requests from different teams, different users. You need a way to kind of like see like the whole picture, everything that comes in. We call that a backlog. So everything comes into a backlog, and then as a product owner, you're responsible for first of all refining the backlog, making sure there is a backlog, and then the whole like prioritizing, refining. It's a lot of back and forth to like set the right priorities, assign the right people, and then like make sure that everything is worked in a timely fashion. So yeah, I would say that's kind of like a good picture of the two roles.
I think it sounds a little bit like talking to humans is a bit like how you talk to AI, isn't it? Just making sure that the prompt is right in the first instance to make sure you get the right information out. I mean, something a little bit off track. I mean, how are you finding? Are you using a lot of AI tools in your day-to-day work now?
I do use it. I know it's kind of big right now, so I think it can help, especially on kind of like formatting the information. That's where I find it very useful. As a business systems analyst, I also have to write a lot of like user stories, acceptance
Yeah,
criteria. So sometimes I do use it just to kind of like have that formatting. Then I do have to go through everything and then make sure that all the information is correct and it's like ordered and things like that. But yeah, I would say that's probably a good use case. Maybe another one would be every time I think about something, I do try to kind of like um, use AI just to see like I don't know if it can give me any more like better ideas or anything I haven't thought of.
yeah.
So yeah, yeah, I would say it's useful. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend just.
Sorry, I was only going to say, I think it can be quite time saving. And like you say, as long as you do the sandwich where you put the prompt in correct, and then when it comes out, you then make it your own. I think that's so important with anything you do. But it can be really useful. It can give you different ideas, can't it? So, for me, I don't rely on AI, but I absolutely use it in my everyday to-day job for sure. But looking back on your career so far, what experiences would you say have shaped the way you approach projects today?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
I'm full of them.
I would say it depends a lot. You can get a lot of experience from like something very small. I don't know. I'm used to like working on a variety of projects, but I would say exposure to different kind of projects will be the most desirable. So from something small like, I don't know, adding a field in Salesforce, or just, I don't know, creating a validation rule, to like having really, really big projects, cross-functional projects, where you get to like interact with different teams, with different stakeholders. So I would say all of them are valuable, and you get to learn a bit from everything. But yeah, I would say interacting with as many teams as possible would be the thing that kind of contributed the most to my experience.
Yeah, and I think, from my side, I speak to people all day, every day that want to get into the ecosystem. Understandably, you've made a great career out of it, as have I. But many people that are, maybe heading into Salesforce now. I know that we always tell them the foundational knowledge is to get your admin certification, to get you started on the ladder, if you like. But in your opinion, people are focusing heavily on getting technical skills and certifications. But how important is it to get a BA skills, and and how important is it do you think, to get the certification to make you successful, in delivering projects?
Yeah, I would say both are important, because as you said, certifications will kind of give you that foundation. So you'll probably learn a bit more on the like theoretical side of things. But like working with people gets you the real experience, and kind of prepares you a little bit better for like a role like this, I would say. So yeah, just yeah, for a new starter, let's say, yeah, I would say certifications are really, really good. I know that a lot of companies are looking like how many certificates, like what type of certificates you have for specific roles. um, I used to do a lot of like trailhead badges myself. I think those can give you a lot of like practical knowledge.
Yeah.
But any I would say any chance to work with people, to work on a project, to kind of have that interaction, would be great, because that's what's actually preparing you for working on any company. On any company, you'll need to talk to the users to know exactly what you have to build. So yeah, I think that's important.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think, it's one thing learning, and of course you have to learn because otherwise you never know. But I think it's really important to learn, and the practical is more important. Well, I mean, they've both got their weight, but once you've learned it, you definitely need to get in the real world, because it's all one thing knowing the answers, like you say, from doing a course or doing a certification or doing trailhead, but absolutely putting it into practice and speaking to people, I think is definitely the way that you get up the ladder. But I suppose in terms of organizations, what mistakes do organizations make when they're gathering their requirements?
Oh, that's another good question.
That's a long question.
Yes. Yes, I think one of the biggest mistakes is probably rushing and not asking all the questions. Because everybody wants to deliver fast. They want everything like as soon as possible.
Yeah,
But you really need to take a bit of time to kind of like understand. First of all, what I like to do is understand what's the problem. Where are the gaps? I do like as a business analyst to understand like what's the current process. So what's happening? Why is it like breaking, or what improvements require? Um, but yeah, usually the business will want things done fast. So I think
yeah.
that's one of the biggest
Always.
problem. Yeah, yeah. I would say maybe just allow a bit more time, do a bit more discovery, and you can set yourself up for success. I mean, not just yourself, but like everybody involved. And yeah, there's also sometimes users tend to get very excited and kind of like try to give you a solution. um,
Of course.
it's always good to listen to them.
Mm.
But it's also kind of like good to know that you're the expert, and at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to translate whatever they want into the solution, or maybe also get to build the solution. So it's you that has to come up with a plan, with everything. So again, good to listen, but don't take their word as kind of like, okay, you should be doing it like that. It's always good to think about what they need, but also think about the solution from a scalable point of view. It needs to be it needs to have like all the security settings in place. It needs to be scalable. It needs to be simple. You don't have to build something very complex just because a user wants it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of a mix.
I think timescales and budgets are absolutely right up there with that conversation for sure. But when you talk about stakeholder engagement, what does good look like?
Yeah, I would say it's a relationship. So it's a lot of talking. You'll be in a lot of meetings with them, or at least you'll have like a constant flow of communication. So I would say trust is very important. So
Mhm.
establishing that trust, I would start with that. They rely on you, so um, you're the expert there. I would say. So yeah, it's kind of like building that relationship, and then delivering results, but also do not forget that you're kind of like in the middle, so in the middle of business and the technical team. So you kind of need to meet both of them at the end.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I think it's important to get it right, isn't it? There'll be
Yeah.
lots of people with lots of different opinions, and I think it's just about coming somewhere in the middle and getting things right, and remembering, as you said, you are the professional. So whilst everyone will want something different, it's just about reining it in, isn't it? And just making sure that everyone's on the same hymn
For
sheet, if
sure.
you like.
Yeah.
Um, I was going to say to you, what advice would you give to someone who is looking to move into either maybe product ownership or business analysis? What would you give them in terms of advice? Anybody listening?
Yeah, I would say it's a very cool place to be in. It offers you a lot of variety. It offers you a lot of exposure. So yeah, I would say be open, be curious. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I think that's the most important one from my point of view. Don't be afraid to say no, because sometimes you have to say, okay, this is not possible, or okay, let's see, maybe we can find a better solution. Yeah, don't give in and like build everything the users want. So yeah, you have to be kind of like grounded and kind of like know really well what to propose and what advices to give on the technical side as well, but also on the business process side as well. Um, but yeah, it's a very nice. I would say it's a very nice role. Yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose, you know, just again, just a question for you, for anybody watching or listening today. You know, what would you say in terms of Sales Cloud, which is your niche, which is why you're one of our community champions, and we are so grateful to all of our community champions. What would you say is something that you love best about Sales Cloud, and what actually made you follow that particular route?
Oh yeah. Well, I would say first of all, Sales Cloud, it can take you through that whole journey from like when I don't know, prospect comes in as a lead, and then you can see all the steps and everything that happens until it can become actually an opportunity, a one opportunity. So that's really really exciting. There are many moving parts, lots of areas you can focus on. Lots of teams that come together to kind of like deliver this, and kind of like they're all part of the process. So yeah, it's I would say it's quite flexible. Many areas you can learn from, get experience from, and yeah, it's quite nice. It's quite exciting, I would say.
Yeah, I think it is. And I think, you know, genuinely, you learn something new every single day. I think every day is definitely a school day. And there's always
Yes.
something new and innovative and exciting going on. Absolutely. So I totally agree with you on that. But just, you know, as we think about wrapping up, I've got one final question you'll be glad to hear. If you were to give one piece of advice to anyone that's starting on their Salesforce journey today, what would it be?
Yeah, I would say just use all the tools you can get your hands on. Like Salesforce has a lot of these tools. You have the Salesforce community. You have Trailhead. You can do lots of practice. There are different events you can join, like local events or. Uh, I don't know, maybe Dreamforce. It's harder to achieve, but I know there are quite a lot of events happening in like all major cities. There are admin groups as well. Again, most cities will have that, so I would say join those. You can get a lot of exposure, really really good opportunities for networking and learning from other people, especially if you're on a like solo admin solo career and you don't have like a team that would probably be able to help and support. And yeah, I would say for everyone that's in involved in the super moms, I know the mentors are really amazing, so you
They
can
are.
learn quite a lot from them.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think, you know, and the community champion initiative that we're doing now as well, like you say, anyone that volunteers for Supermoms is really on a mission to get people into tech. And obviously, whilst our mission is to get more women into tech, we do, of course, do training for men,
Yes.
women, teams. So, you know, anybody watching today who wants more information on that, they can reach out to me. But what I would say once again is thank you so much for joining me today. I really, really appreciate it. It's always great to hear some, you know, some insights, some experience, and it's great to hear people's stories and see where they came from and where they've, you know, where they've ended up. So thank you so much for you. For helping supermums as a mentor and as a community champion. Like I said, myself, the team, and everyone in the community really, really appreciates what you do. So thank you so much. And thank you for everyone that's joined us today. It's been really nice for you to hear Lexi story. I'm saying Lexi again. I know that you said not Alexandra. I could have asked you, but anyway.
Anything but Alexandra.
Oh,
No, that's perfectly fine. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And yeah, really,
you're
really excited to be here today.
good, good. And we're excited to have you. So thank you so much to everyone. Thank you to all of our community champions that join our sessions. I look forward to delivering another session next week with our next community champion. So thank you for joining once again, and take care, everyone. See you next time.